Well, it's Friday, and you all know what that means. That means we get to review the G1 Climax with Day 5. We will only be focusing on Block A and Block B. And then after that, we got AEW Rampage with the Rampage Royal. And of course, we have the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass taking on Aaron Solo, QT Marshall, and Johnny TV. And then finally, the TBS title is on the line. And then, of course, we have who's going to level up on this latest episode of NXT Level Up. And then we got a couple of news updates to tell what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events are being put out by the promotions, who's been booked, what matches are set, injuries, signees, the whole enchilada. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Leaded Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Leaded Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Gerard here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Hope you guys enjoy this channel. We will be reviewing everything else. So if you like what you see, please click the subscribe button. But if you also like this episode, please click like. So let's get this show started. Our very first one is, of course, more of the G1 Climax by New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is recently took place. This is day 5. Now we open up with the B block, Tangaloa taking on Yoshihashi. Pretty good, decent match, decent opener. Not the best, but it was a decent one. But I have to say it was a pretty good, interesting match because these two were in fact tied with each one loss and one win. However, in this case, it was Yoshihashi with the crucifix bomb, a new move that he's been using recently that he called the Itada Kikari. I think that's what it's pronounced, but was effective for him to pick up 2 points. So he currently has 2 wins and 1 loss. As for Tangaloa, 1 win and 2 losses. Now we jump into the A block. We have Red Narita versus Gabriel Kidd. Now Red Narita wasn't a slouch. He knew from the very beginning that Gabriel Kidd was about to sneak up with them, but basically it became a house fight. Basically, Gabriel Kidd, who was a war dog of the Bullet Club. He will do whatever it takes to pick up the win. When he did, apparently, he low blowed Ren Narita and then power drive him without carry. So basically, he has 2 points more. So right now he gained 4 points with 2 wins and 1 loss. As for Ren Narita, he only has, I believe, 2 draws and no wins and 1 loss. I think that's the record. But yes, that's what he has. Now our next match is back to the B block. We have the Great Khan versus El Phantasmo. There was an interesting moment. Now Phantasmo has been grown so popular since he left the Bullet Club or expelled, but he has gained a lot of momentum. Not to mention he gave titty twisters to Great Khan, but it was no effective. And then he bit El Phantasmo's titties, which was very uncomfortable. But however, it did not end there well for Phantasmo because he's currently winless. Khan applied the Saboru Ozawa sharp Linda Luna, whatever he calls it, like using the Iron Claw but try to use a backbreaker, that sort of thing. So that's what he picked up. So currently, Akana only has 1 win so far, but 2 losses. El Phantasmo, no wins. Now to the A block, we have Chase Owens versus Hikuleo. These two are no strangers from each other. They know each other when Hikuleo was still a member of Bullet Club until he betrayed Jay White. However, this is no exception. I have to say Chase Owen did everything in his power to pick up the win. But however, it was the C trigger that put away the big man in giving Chase Owens a win that he needed. Anyway, let's move on. So basically, Chase Owen has uh, two wins so far. Hikuleo has no wins so far. Now we jump into the B block. This one is a very interesting one. We have Kenta versus Will Ospreay. Now the reason I say it's interesting, Will Ospreay issued a challenge against Naomichi Marufuji on his 25th anniversary in Pro Wrestling Noah. Now Kenta, as you all know, he's from Pro Wrestling Noah. So basically, he's facing against someone who has challenged Marufuji many times. But however, Kenta, he'll do whatever it takes to pick up the win by cheating, using whatever toys and all this other stuff. However, that did not stop Will, who was his determination to go all the way to the top. However, I don't think he will be the one to make it all the way due to the fact that, of course, there's heavy favorites in this particular match, such as Evil is one, and of course, there are those that believe Yoda Suji is amongst them, that sort of thing. But Will Ospreay was able to apply the Stormbreaker to pick up the win, and I believe Will Ospreay has one loss, two wins with 4 points. Kenta has just 2 points with, I believe, 2 losses, and that, from my understanding of that. Now, our next match, we head back to the A block. We have Kaito Kiyomiya versus Shota Umino. Now, this match was rather insane. Now, once again, Red Shoes is officiating. Shota's father thought this was going to be an interesting match, but however, Shota Umino did apply something that would put away Kaito Kiyomiya, but it wasn't enough. The match ended in a time limit draw after 20 minutes, so that's a big disappointment. But they all each get a point. Kento Kiyomiya has 5 points with a total of 1 draw and 2 wins, no losses. As for what's his name, Shota Umino, he only has two draws and 1 loss so far. So that's how it plays out. Next up, back to the B block, Taichi versus Okada. Now these two were undefeated prior before this match, but you can guess this was a pretty good match, and I think the heavy favorite in this match that many people might have thought was Taichi. He probably would have been the one to finally pick up a win against Okada, but no, it was the stack pin that put Taichi away for Okada to pick up the win. Now our main event is in fact a rematch from Sakura Genesis, I believe. Yoda Tsuji versus Sanada. Now, this is not the first time these two won. However, these two have come across. Yoda Tsuji issued a challenge to Sanada when he came back, initiating, and then of course he put himself as a member of the LIJ. But I thought this was also kind of like another repeat. Now, Sanada refuses to stay down. Many people believe that maybe Sanada could win the entirety. No one hasn't won that, have an opportunity to see a champion win since a couple of decades, but Sonata could do it. But he did apply the deadfall once again, and I thought it was pretty sweet. So that's how it ends with the G1. I can't wait to see what the C and D will throw in. So as a remnant now, let's move on with AEW Rampage. AEW Rampage. Now, this is the Rampage Royal. This is more of a battle royal where we see 2 rings. This is something we have seen in the past. Last time we saw, I think it was Brody King who picked up the win. Now, entireties of factions were involved. That includes like guys like Jeff Jarrett. Well, let's call the Dickwads, as I like to call them. Even few others were involved. Nick Wayne was in, Swerve, all members of the Mogul Embassy, everybody else. Now, I wasn't too sure how this would, but this ended with, of course, Darby Allin being at the end with his longtime rival, and that is, of course, none other than Darby Allin. But out of nowhere, that sniveling little weasel, Prince Nana, get himself involved and all this other stuff to ensure that he went. But however, what happened is I wasn't too sure exactly how this ended. I thought they were going to review the tape, but both men were off the ring. But from what the point of view seen from the refs, it was, of course, Darby Allin who won. It was Surf Strickland to put his feet first down on the ground, giving him the opportunity for a shot at the TNT title. I think that's what they said. Um, we'll see how that turns out. So Darby Allin wins, and that's going to be a good thing. Now we do see our next is a trios match. We have Johnny TV, Aaron Solo, and QT Marshall, who recently targeted the Acclaim. Now the Acclaim has other goals in mind, and those goals were in fact the trios title. So it was more like QTTV would say, well, we're going to stop you from there. It's something that we have to say, but however, you probably thought this match was really going to go in front of the Acclaim. It did. The Acclaim was not taking anything hold back, but I like how, of course, Daddy Az was able to pick up the win after Max Caster applied the mic drop on Solo, and that was pretty much it. So the Acclaim will get their shot against the House of Black. So I think that's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if the House of Black loses those tag titles with interference from Andrade, but we'll see how that turns out. Now our main event features is the TBS title, Marina Shafir and Chris Statlander. This match was pretty okay. A lot of submission moves that, of course, Marina Shafir applied was very helpful, but however, that wasn't enough to put Chris Statlander away, no matter what it was going to be. But however, it was, of course, the Saturday Night Fever by Chris Statlander to pick up the win. So that kind of ends it right there. Chris Statlander retained the title, and everything goes straight up normal for everyone else. Pretty good show, not gonna lie, but it was decent enough. So I think that's pretty much it with AEW Rampage, my bad. And I think that's it. So let's just move on to our final review, NXT Level Up. Okay, welcome to our news updates. So this is what we have so far. Two new names have been announced for the All-Star Junior Festival USA on August 19th. We have, of course, the first one is none other than Clark Connors. And then, of course, our 12th entry is none other than Yo. Good picks. I think this is Clark Connors' very first one, but we'll see how that turns up down the line for this one. So I can't wait to see it. Now, British promotion RevPro has announced for their 11th anniversary the RevPro undisputed British heavyweight title will be defended. Michael Oku defends the title against none other than Trent Seven, so that's going to be a good match to enjoy. Not sure if I'll be able to see it, but I will hear some good things from it. Then finally, West Coast Pro Wrestling has announced from the West Coast with Love event that will take place later on September. It was announced that legendary Joshi wrestler, who is coming out of retirement, I believe, Manami Toyota, will be making her appearance, and I think that's a good thing. We know we have seen Joshi wrestlers make their appearance in West Coast Pro due to their partnership with none other than Marvelous. So we'll be seeing more of that down the line. So I hope everybody enjoys this. So right now, let's just call it a day. Okay, welcome to our news updates. So this is what we have so far. Two new names have been announced for the All-Star Junior Festival USA on August 19th. We have, of course, the first one is none other than Clark Connors. And then, of course, our 12th entry is none other than Yo. Good picks. I think this is Clark Connors' very first one, but we'll see how that turns up down the line for this one. So I can't wait to see it. Now, British promotion RevPro has announced for their 11th anniversary the RevPro undisputed British heavyweight title will be defended. Michael Oku defends the title against none other than Trent Seven, so that's going to be a good match to enjoy. Not sure if I'll be able to see it, but I will hear some good things from it. Then finally, West Coast Pro Wrestling has announced from the West Coast with Love event that will take place later on September. It was announced that legendary Joshi wrestler, who is coming out of retirement, I believe, Manami Toyota will be making her appearance, and I think that's a good thing. We know we have seen Joshi wrestlers make their appearance um, in West Coast Pro due to their partnership with none other than Marvelous. So we'll be seeing more of that down the line. So I hope everybody enjoys this. So right now, let's just call it a day. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. First things first, I want to apologize to everyone. I was originally supposed to review Death Before Dishonor by Ring of Honor, but however, due to my schedule and my work, it kind of backfired. But I'll try to do that in the next episode. Um, haven't decided yet. Now I will be not sure exactly how it is because my hours is a little bit hectic, but I'm sure I can try to get it done. So uh, don't quote me on anything just yet. But until then, we do know I have a Choco Pro event coming up soon. I'll be talking about that as well. But for now, let's just stick with what I am saying. But for now, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, in the next DWZ chat. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.